The sun was barely up, painting the sky pink and orange over a small village. Amina, a 12-year-old girl with bright eyes and a quiet smile, stood outside a tent in a dusty refugee camp. Her sneakers were worn out, the soles thin from walking miles to escape danger in her home country. She missed her old home, the mango tree where she played, the sound of her grandma's lullabies. But war had taken all that away. Now, she was in a new place, surrounded by strangers, feeling small and scared. "Will I ever feel at home again?" Amina whispered to herself, clutching a small, tattered notebook where she wrote her dreams. She loved to run. Back home, she'd race her brother through the fields, laughing as the wind whipped her hair. But here, in the camp, there were no fields. Just dirt, tents, and worry. One morning, a cheerful voice broke through her thoughts. "You're fast," he shouted, catching up. "Like really fast." Amina's cheeks warmed with a shy smile. For the first time in months, she felt alive. Days turned into weeks, and Amina and Sammy started racing every morning. Other kids joined in, cheering and clapping. Amina's heart soared each time she ran. It was like her worries couldn't catch her when she was moving. One day, a woman named Coach Zara visited the camp. She was tall, with a kind face and a whistle around her neck. She worked with a group that helped kids play sports. "Sports can give you strength," she told the kids gathered in a circle, "not just in your body, but in your heart." Amina listened, her eyes wide. Coach Zara noticed her. "You there?" Running became her escape. Every morning, she trained with Coach Zara, learning how to pace herself, how to breathe, how to push through when her legs screamed to stop. But one day, bad news came. The camp was moving, and Amina's family had to go to a new country. She'd have to leave Coach Zara, Sammy, and the track. "I don't want to go," Amina cried, tears streaming down her face. "Running is all I have." Coach Zara hugged her tight. "Amina, you carry your strength inside you. Wherever you go, you'll find a way to run. I believe in you." Amina felt like her dream was slipping away, like sand through her fingers. But she held on to Coach Zara's words. She packed her notebook and her worn-out sneakers, promising herself she'd keep going. The new country was cold and strange. Amina smiled, her chest swelling with pride. "From my heart," she said. Years passed, and Amina trained harder than ever. Mr. Lee became her new Coach Zara, teaching her to believe in herself. She won races at school, then in her city, then in her country. But being a refugee made things tough. Sometimes, she couldn't travel to races because of papers or money. She felt angry and sad, like the world was unfair. One day, Mr. Lee sat her down. "Amina, there's a special team for athletes like you. It's called the Refugee Olympic Team. They help people who've had to leave their homes compete in the Olympics." Amina's eyes widened. The Olympics? That was where the fastest, strongest people in the world raced. "Me? In the Olympics?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Why not you?" Mr. Lee said, smiling. The gun fired. Amina exploded forward, her legs pumping, her arms swinging. The crowd's cheers faded, and all she heard was her own heartbeat. She ran faster than ever, her feet barely touching the ground. The finish line was so close. She leaned forward, giving everything she had. She crossed it. First, the stadium erupted. Amina fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. She'd done it. She was an Olympic champion. Her teammates from the Refugee Olympic team ran to her, lifting her up, laughing and crying together. "You did it, Amina!" they shouted. Later, at the podium, Amina stood tall, a gold medal around her neck. The Olympic flag rose, and she felt like her heart might burst with joy. "I want to do more," Amina told her mom one morning, sitting at their small kitchen table. Her mom was stirring tea, her face glowing with pride. "You've already done so much, my star," her mom said, touching Amina's cheek. "You showed the world what's possible." Amina shook her head. "But there are kids out there who need hope. I want to help them run like I did." That day, Amina met with Mr. Lee, her coach. "I want to start a running club," she said, her voice full of fire. "For kids in refugee camps. I want them to feel what I felt when I ran, free, strong, like anything is possible." Mr. Lee's eyes lit up. "That's a big dream, Amina. Let's make it happen." A few months later, Amina stood at the entrance of a refugee camp, not far from where she'd once lived. The kids giggled, and soon they were lining up. Amina counted. 1, 2, 3, go! The kids took off, some tripping, some laughing, their feet kicking up dust. The little girl with braids, Lila, reached the tent first, her face bursting with joy. "I did it!" Lila shouted, jumping up and down. Amina gave her a high five, her heart swelling. Amina kept coming back to the camp, week after week. She brought old sneakers donated by her school and taught the kids how to run faster, breathe deeper, and believe in themselves. Tariq, the boy who doubted her, started to smile. He was fast, almost as fast as Amina had been. "You think I could be a champion too?" he asked one day, his voice shy. "I know you can," Amina said, ruffling his hair. "You've got the heart for it." But it wasn't easy. Some days, Amina felt tired. Traveling to the camp was hard, and she missed training for her own races. Sometimes, the kids were too hungry or sad to run. Amina wanted to cry, thinking she wasn't doing enough. But then she'd see Lila's grin or Tariq's determination, and she'd keep going. One day, Amina organized a big race for the camp. Kids from all over came, wearing colorful shirts Amina's school had sent. The finish line was a rope with ribbons, and families cheered from the sidelines. Lila crossed first, her braids flying, and Tariq came second, pumping his fist. The crowd roared, just like at the Olympics. That night, Amina wrote in her notebook, "Winning gold was my dream. Helping others find theirs is my purpose." News of Amina's running club spread. People called her a hero, not just for her medal, but for giving kids hope. One day, she got a letter from the Olympic Committee. They wanted her to speak at a big event, to tell the world about her running club and the Refugee Olympic team. Amina stood on a stage, lights bright, her hands shaking. The crowd was huge, but she thought of the camp, of Lila and Tariq. "I was a refugee," she said, her voice clear. "I was scared and lost. But running gave me wings. Now, I'm helping other kids find theirs. No matter where you are, you can dream big. You can run towards something better." The crowd cheered, and Amina felt tears in her eyes. She wasn't just a champion anymore. She was a light for others.